My dad, when he made tea this morning, he told me about there being tea in the fridge, but more tea in the fridge after I had what I recall was roughly 2 cups in the morning before I decided to take a power nap. Around 9:30 in the morning. The plan was to take a 25-minute power nap, but it ended up not exactly going to plan. I don't know whether I accidentally paused the video while the binaural beats were playing. If that gentle chime just didn't wake me up, because to me it doesn't seem like a very intense alarm. I woke up around 12:50 p.m. which allowed me to attend pretty much the last 10 minutes of our online class in American political thoughts. And as it turns out, we have gotten our paper topics. I also if I recall correctly, there was a discussion on in regards to slavery and religion regarding Thomas Jefferson. If I recall correctly, the new look of the treatise kind of messed me up, because I think I went to train him again after one of the times where I fell asleep for anywhere between an hour to a few hours today. I pretty much just got back up from one of those accidental falling asleeps. I'm currently studying for tomorrow's Spanish test. In regards to chapter 11 and 12, or lesson 11 and 12. I've been spending a good part of today and yesterday upgrading these two houses. It seems I can upgrade a home to level 13, but to do so requires those magical goods that are the most expensive basic goods. As of right now, I only have plans to build one, to upgrade one of them to level 13. I'm going to spend the city expansion I'm going to get on placing down the last of the ancient wonders that are currently available to me, the endless excavation. Though as of right now, I obviously don't have the land for it, and I don't have the necessary goods for it. At least not entirely, that's for sure. My dad got these Singapore noodles. Following a full day of work. The shrimp and egg tastes pretty good. Following today's American Political Thought class, I asked about the recordings, the professor about the recordings, and she helped me to find them within the online learning section of Blackboard, basically the Collaborate Ultra section. I assumed that the recordings would be there. they're just a bit hidden because obviously you first see the room or the link to it for attending online class sessions. I recall that my dad saved me half of a garbage plate. I assume that he had the other half of it first. So the other day he got 2 garbage plates from Bill Gray's. I'm going to do some Duolingo lessons later. The important thing is comprehension when it comes to this Spanish exam, but I'm thinking that I can practice that by working on remembering the grammar concepts and vocabulary of lesson 11 and 12. Very early today, if I recall, Dad gave me the idea, or I had the idea of drawing Harley Quinn on a styrofoam block for my dad, but I wanted to focus on studying for the Spanish test. I've been feeling somewhat sick for most of today, having sneezing and coughing fits, a pretty runny nose, aches in my arms and wrists, a headache, And maybe that has something to do with all the time they fall asleep today, or maybe that has more to do with the fact that I basically pulled 2 all-nighters in a row. Though I'm assuming that 2 all-nighters in a row, I associate that with going 48 hours without sleep. That's not an easy thing to do, and it's not recommended. Sleep deprivation is not healthy. I believe this stage in particular is on the very cusp of what I can do. Now for this, you just have to manage to take out the generators. I have a sneaking suspicion, though, I have a sneaking suspicion that they always have a priest unit at the start of this stage. But I also have a sneaking suspicion that that sneaking suspicion is not true. Yeah, level 3 power cube chest. I don't even have the time to get enough energy to beat that, to attempt that stage. And I don't believe it's possible for me to beat it, but I'm definitely willing to try. That's for sure. I am actually kind of surprised. I expected the labyrinth to have resetted by now. I thought I would just simply have slept too long to be able to try that stage. Either way, I'm definitely glad I got that one of the stage in. And my dad forgot to cut the beef patty that was part of the garbage plate. I think it was the main part of that garbage plate. It also had mac salad and the usual home fries, but I didn't really mind that. That the half of the beef patty was uncut. If I recall correctly, I just picked it up with my fork and just took bites of it. Use it in my teeth. Or maybe I just kind of cut it with my fork. Perhaps I did a bit of both in that case. Dad's currently having some of the Singapore noodles. As I described today. I had a sandwich consisting of 2 halves of a bread roll and cold cuts for breakfast along with the tea. Lunchtime was when I had the garbage plate. Plus, if I'm recalling correctly, a glass of water. No, wait. It was actually the last bottle of Splash lemon flavored water. And it was around that time that I had moved into Dad's room. Though I did this shortly before taking the power nap, maybe about an hour before. And I slightly opened the window to Dad's room, not to get in cold air, but more like to get in fresh air, because I heard that it's good for at least when you have a cold. And I think it's more likely for you to get a cold than the flu. But just be sure you're always being vigilant. Keep yourself safe from COVID-19. The COVID-19 pandemic is still ongoing. We may be getting close to a vaccine. It may be anywhere from several months to a year away now, but until then, it's important to keep safe. Wash and sanitize your hands often. Get plenty of rest. And to drink plenty of water to strengthen the immune system. Yeah, I tried to attend a virtual office hour that I was hoping would become the equivalent of Monday's online lecture that I sort of forgot about, but the professor didn't show up for the virtual office hour today. I recall waiting for about 15 minutes from 2:30 p.m. to 2:47 p.m. So I just continued to study for the Spanish lesson 11 and 12 test. gonna try out this beverage. Brisk iced tea.
Yeah, it's a lemon iced tea.
Lemon iced tea. Don't you commonly get those in Arizona's for lunch at work?
Jack Nichols.
Jack Nichols?
Arnold Palmer's.
Thank you. Staying close. That fortune cookie is probably correct. After all, it's with the ongoing pandemic. It's not like I can just do what I had plans to do of going to Europe again for a second study abroad trip. Even where I am right now is being hit with a surge in cases. With SUNY Brockport, though I don't live in the town of Brockport, they're currently have an alert level of yellow. Blue is new normal. Green is the intermediate. And yellow, I think, is elevated. Oh, sorry about that. Q-ton? There are a considerable number of speakers of Mandarin throughout the world, but most of them are quite far away from where I currently am. The Spanish language always felt like it seems to be the second language of the United States for good reason. That being it's the second most common. We're right next to a country that has its official language in Spanish. Mexico. And we're pretty close and have considerable history with the nations of South America. Honduras, El Salvador, Argentina, Chile, the Dominican Republic, Panama, Uruguay, I think Cuba might be one of them, though I'm not sure. I know that Brazil definitely isn't one of the countries with Spanish as their official language. If anything, they have Portuguese as their official language. Cuba. Official language? Oh, they do have Spanish as their official language. Though, and so does the European country of Spain has Spanish as their official language, though when it comes to language, there can be regional differences even within a widespread language. And there's differences between English here and in the United Kingdom. And there are differences between Spanish in Spain, where I believe it originated. That's just where I believe it currently originated. I don't believe I've done enough research on that to be definitive. And as of right now, that's not top priority because I need to study the Spanish language, how to read, write, and listen to it. I've had thoughts of doing what I did back in high school and listening to Finding Nemo in Spanish again to get the listening aspect down. And there's also Ecuador, which is where my Talk Abroad partner was from, because I picked the same partner for all 4 of my Talk Abroad conversations.